Hey, you guys made it. Awesome Joe again. Pleasure to meet you. And welcome to Florida's Silver Springs. Come and join us for another adventure.
Look, I'll send those some stuff from both Manchester. That's very exciting. We look forward to that. Yeah, man. I'll get with you. All right. Yeah, man.
Oh, that's great. Really affordable. You know, Florida and a tank full. It only took us about an hour and 15 minutes to get here, and it's only $2 per person. No parking fees, which is great. Well, my birthday just passed. Can you buy me a ticket? Thanks, appreciate it. Here we go, we're gonna check in.
At the end by the food truck, make a left, both doctors down the right.
Awesome, thank you very much, appreciate it.
Can you walk around?
Yeah, of course.
It is.
All right, guys. Well, thanks for purchasing my ticket. Really appreciate it. And we're gonna go on the boat tour in about 20 minutes. He gave us a nice little map if you want to check it out. Awesome. Well, unfortunately, there's no swimming here. Yeah. Here's a beautiful monarch butterfly. See the monarch butterfly? And they do have kayak rentals. Oh, it's really beautiful here. And just to give you a little bit of history, they actually filmed a movie here. I believe it was called the Black Lagoon. If I'm mistaken, if you can go ahead and correct me in the comment section, it'd be really cool. Now here on the glass bottom boat tour, you can actually see some of the wreckage from the movie that they left there from the movie set, which is really cool. So we'll get to check that out. All right, come on, let's keep on walking. Ooh, Springside Cafe, so you can get some snacks and drinks if you're hungry there. Wow, they're doing some renovations here. That's cool. Got a welcome center here. Oh, nice. They got water and treat. Oh, good. I can get some free snacks here. I am getting kind of hungry. I'll even leave a tip for them.
Yep, 12:15. That should be the next one. 12:15 is the next one, right? Just to let you know, though, we do auction them off to the highest bidder. Lock those brakes for me as well.
All right, we're going on the Chief. Yeah, hello. Is that a turtle? Oh. The air bubble.
Are those turtles blue? They're blue? Those turtles?
What about them?
They're blue?
Oh, they look blue?
Or a reflection of the sky.
I think it's in the black.
Oh, look how cute.
Yeah, they're blue.
That's a female right there.
Oh, yeah?
You know how you can tell? Look how long her fingernails are.
Oh.
No, I'm serious. That's the way you tell, because that's what she uses to dig in the sand to bury her.
Yes, it is very hard. It's a mullet. I'm like,
Hey guys, how many we got? We're giving. Yeah. Good, good, good. All right, guys, welcome aboard, everyone. My name is Captain Mark. I'm going to take you down the river for the next 30 minutes.
Okay.
You guys ready for a boat ride?
Yeah, all right.
Now, guys, before we get started, I got a couple little things I have to tell you this way. They're all adult sizes until you get way up toward the front. That's where we keep the children's life. Now, the good news about those life jackets up there, we've never used them.
Oh, yeah.
All the years we've been operating, and this boat was put into service in 1965, we have never once had to pull those out and actually use them. So that's a pretty good record. We'll see if we can extend that record by one more day. How's that?
Yeah.
Now guys, if for some reason as you go down the river here you don't feel well, for any reason, I don't care what it is, all you gotta do is say something to me, okay? I promise you at that point we're going right back home, get you taken care of immediately. So say the word if things start going badly. Now guys, this glass that you're going to be looking through is just regular old tempered glass. There's nothing fancy about that at all. That glass is about a ½ inch thick. It is not magnified, and it can crack and break. It's happened before, so be careful not to drop anything heavy on it. Now guys, if you want to take a picture through that glass, it works really well. But do yourself a favor. If you have a flash, turn that baby off. Turn off your flash. Because if you don't, you're going to go home with a great picture of yourself. Now this grass that you see going underneath the boat right now, that is called eel grass. Eel. And manatees love that stuff. That's their staple food. They eat about 100 pounds of that a day. Alright, now guys, we're coming up on our very first spring of the day here. This first spring I want to show you, we call this one Spring of the Star. And it gets that name kind of in honor of all the movie stars that have made movies here over the years. See, huh? You bet. I'm going to show you where. And the very first movie that was ever made here at Silver Springs was made in 1916. It was a movie called Seven Swans. To give you an idea just how long ago that was a silent movie.
Wow.
If you look below the boat now, you'll see the bottom just turned to white limestone. In the middle of that white limestone, toward right in the center there, toward the front, you'll see a flat gray rock. That kind of marks the entrance to the spring. That little rock is 26 feet deep. Now guys, on the whole scheme of things, this is the smallest spring you're going to see today, by far. I got much bigger to show you before we're done today. But still a spring, just happens to be first on the list. This is Spring of the Stars.
Where's the, excuse me? Where's the, don't these springs have a flow that comes from underground?
A flow?
Yeah, a flow, like the water comes from underground.
Absolutely, comes from underground, yes sir.
Can we see, will we see one of those? Where the actual fountain is, or wherever the flow
Well,
is?
will you be able to see the water?
Well,
Probably not.
it's like rushing through, you know.
It's rushing, but you won't be able to see it. And I'm going to explain that later. Okay? Because this was a small spring. This is the flow on this one isn't much, but I'm going to take you to some that are much bigger. So I'll explain it. Now this next spring I want to show you guys, this one is called Creature Spring. And it gets that name because of a movie that was filmed here many years ago. The name of that movie was Creature from the Black Lagoon. Now, how many of you guys have actually seen that movie?
Yeah.
We got a few of you here. It's a terrible movie. Now let me show you where it was filmed. If you look underneath the boat, this little crevasse coming up That narrowing area right there, that's about 33 feet deep.
Wow.
That's where the creature made his debut in 1954.
So this is about 30 feet here?
A long time ago, right below. That was a great movie. Now today, if you looked at that movie, it's going to look a little hokey to you. Back then, it didn't.
Yeah.
Me too. I hear you. That was my favorite. Paddleboarder, I'm coming right where you are. Now guys, this next thing I'm going to show you, this one is a little different. This one's called the Florida snowstorm. And why we call it that, I'm not even going to tell you why. I'm going to show you why. If you look below the boat here in just a few seconds, you're going to notice these little white specks coming out of this thing. It almost looks like it's snowing down there. Now what those little white specks actually are little pieces of limestone coming out of the aquifer.
Oh, see it, look.
That little spring right there is about 28 feet deep. But it gives the illusion of a snowstorm, hence the name.
Okay.
But I will say this, that's the closest thing you're going to see to snow around here.
What's the temperature in the water?
What's that?
What's the temperature in the water down
The
there?
temperature of the water coming out of all these springs is 72 degrees, and that is constant year-round. Does not change at all. Today, that would feel pretty cold. Yeah. In the wintertime, it feels pretty good.
I thought they were allowed to be in the water.
You're not. Happens all the time. Now guys, as we continue down the river, if you have any questions about anything, and you're already starting, that's great. That's what I want. Feel free to ask away, and you will not be bothering me at all. In fact, I like answering them, and I'll do my best to do just that. So, holler away if you decide you want to.
What? The bar part. Bar part. Yeah, where's the bar part? I'm just kidding. The bar part. How does your motor not get caught up in the seaweed?
So I know where I should be and know where I shouldn't be. Exactly. That seaweed, or that grass, is not something you want to get that motor in. It is nasty. That's just like a bunch of rope. And it will take us down. So no, you stay away from it. So guys, if you look over here on the right, we have 3 turtles sitting down over here. Those turtles are called slider turtles. That's our primary species of turtle. There's another one over here on the tree. Now guys, as we get out here a little further, we're going to turn into this next cove. And at this point, I want you to start keeping your eyes open for alligators. Now here's how to spot them. Alligators like it along the edges of the river. In fact, every now and then you'll see one out swimming, but not often. And what I mean by that is they're going to be, you got to look closely, because what happens is they can get into this greenery here and then you just can't see them at all. So I'm not saying you're going to see one, but I'm just trying to tell you where to look. Now, more often than not, I'll see one right here on this point in this grass. and then sometimes kind of around the bend here in that corner. So see if you can see one. If you happen to spot one, say something and we'll get a little closer for you. Or not. Now while you're looking for alligators, I'm going to tell you a little bit more about the next spring coming up, because now we're getting into a pretty formidable spring. This next spring is what we call a magnitude 1 spring. All these springs that you're seeing today are rated by a system called the magnitude system. Now that system goes from 1 to 8. 1 being the most flow of water coming out of a spring, 8 being the least. This spring coming up is rated a 1. The reason it gets that rating is because this spring produces 250 million gallons of water every day.
Wow. Holy crap.
That's a lot of water.
Yeah.
This is not the biggest spring you're going to see today. Not even close, actually. But it's a formidable spring. This spring is in 29 feet of water, and we call this one the Blue Grotto. Now, if you look closer, you can see some little bit of pieces of limestone kind of floating around there. For the most part, it's hard to see any flow. The reason for that is because the water's cleared it. This water gets this beautiful blue look because all of this water coming out of these springs is 99.8% pure fresh water. In other words, guys, it didn't get much cleaner than that.
Yeah.
Pretty good, isn't it?
Yeah. Beautiful. Lisa would like this, you can see what's in
Sometimes I'll see gators over here along the edges, kind of in that marshy stuff. They've been a little elusive today. I haven't really seen any today yet. They're around. Birthday?
Oh, cool.
Now, if we get into this little cove here, I just have a question, because this is kind of geared towards you guys who are a little older. How many of you guys remember a television series called Sea Hunt? I remember that myself. I mean, that is my favorite, was my favorite show on television. Now, if you look over here on the left, this little dot we're coming up on, that we call the Sea Hunt dot. The reason it gets a name like that is because every single episode of Sea Hunt, I'm talking about the underwater scenes, were all filmed right here at Silver Spring. And they didn't look like it was out in the middle of the ocean, but it wasn't. It was out right here. And they didn't do it in this particular cove. They did it all up and down the river. And in fact, where we started, a lot of scenes were done right there.
So what do you do about alligators then? What do you do about alligators then?
What they do back then?
Yeah.
Well, actually, the alligators aren't as big a threat as everybody seems to think. We have never had an incident out here with an alligator bothering a kayaker or a paddleboarder at all. Never. Even though they have the tools to hurt you, they are actually kind of afraid of you. If we get too close to one, they're just going to scamper off. So, now the only time that changes is when people feed them.
Yep.
You feed an alligator, now they're associating you with food.
Yeah.
That's not a good thing.
What's the other grass that's down here? What's the other grass that's down here? Is it something almost looks like a bush?
It's called hydrilla, I think. Yeah, which is kind of an invasive plant, but so far that hasn't been doing much harm. Coming in here too, I thought I saw an alligator back here, but that could have been destroyed with those whipples. So, I don't see them now. People get in here and get too close to them, and then they're gone. I've been here about 2.5 years. I retired 2.5 years ago, and came here and kind of got bored, to be honest with you. And I do this on the weekends, so this is fun for me.
Oh yeah, the daddy may want to live here. Right on. And like a boat on there. I told him to get a spot for it. So I put a boat on there.
Now guys, this river we're going down is called the Silver River. Now, before I tell you that, this little bird right here, that's called an anhinga. Now if you notice this bird, look at her bill, look how long and sharp it is. She likes to use that to go fishing. She'll dive underwater, spear the fish, bring the fish to the surface, toss it up in the air, and swallow it whole. She's very good at it. But when she comes out of the water, she's soaking wet. She can't fly very well being that wet. And what she's trying to do right there with her wings spread is simply dry out.
What kind of fish is that?
Now, like I said, this river that we're going down is called the Silver River. Now, this entire river is made up of nothing but springs. All this is water coming from springs. Now, when this river is actually at its peak, it can produce in the neighborhood of 700 to 800 million gallons of water a day. Now, where does all that water go? This river extends downstream about 5 miles. At that point, it runs into another river, a bigger river called the Ocala. The Ocala goes for a few more miles, then it dumps into a bigger river even yet called the St. John. The St. John's now is running north toward Jacksonville, one of the few rivers in North America that actually runs north. It goes all the way up into Jacksonville, and then finally out to sea. It's a little over 150-mile journey from here to the ocean via river. In other words, guys, all this water you're looking at in about a week from now will all be in the Atlantic Ocean. Well, like displays, and stuff like that. Now they're all in the wild here. Back then they did. Yeah, back then they did. Now they put everything back to nature. Yeah.
My wife was saying, when she came here years ago, there were monkeys, and that came from the Tarzan movie. They loved it.
No, everybody thinks that, and that's totally bogus. And let me explain why. The Tarzan movies back then used chimpanzees.
Right.
These are not chimpanzees. Okay. These are called rhesus macaque monkeys. They're still here.
Where did they come from?
They came from a guy that had a tour business here back in the early 30s. And what he came up with this idea that if he bought some monkeys and put them on a little island downstream that he could go by that with his tour business every day, and they could see the monkeys, they could feed the monkeys, everybody would be pleased, and he just thought that might help his business. His name was Colonel Toohey. He went out and he bought 6 of them, 6 rhesus macaque monkeys, put them on a little island downstream, further down from where we are. And he went by that island the very next day with a whole boatload of tourists, and they all saw the monkeys. Everybody had a ball. And he thought to himself, this is a pretty good idea of mine. The very next day, he loaded up the boat again with a whole new set of tourists, came down to the island. There was not a single monkey on that island, all gone. The one little piece of information that he failed to get about rhesus macaque monkeys is these guys are great swimmers.
Oh, really?
And they swam away, and they have had run of this entire forest ever since.
Oh, how fun is it?
Now, what good news is, what started out as 6 monkeys are now up in the neighborhood of 500. But the bad news is, they're in a forest that's just under 5,000 acres. It's a huge forest. And when they're in an area where we're not, they're not going to be seen. That's all there is to it. I've seen them up this far on occasion, but not very often. And if you really want to see them, the best thing to do is put yourself on the extended tour. But even that's not guaranteed. I don't want to give the impression that it is. It's not. But that's the story on the monkey.
Okay.
Now guys, I got the last spring I want to show you here. This is the big daddy of them all. This is the head spring of the river. And this is where the Silver River starts, right here. This spring is called Mammoth Spring. Now this thing is massive. This thing is 65 feet wide. It sits in about, 65 feet wide. It sits in about 55 feet of water. And this one spring produces 550 million gallons of water a day. And that makes this spring the largest artesian limestone spring in the world. Now, this also is my favorite. And it's not because of all the water coming out of it, that's all cool and everything. This is my favorite because this is by far, in my opinion, the prettiest spring of the bunch. And we'll see if you guys agree with me here in a minute. Alright, here in just a few seconds, we're going to get in here and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Watch what happens when we get on the other side of this rock. The bottom drops down to 55 feet in a big hurry.
Wow.
This is Mammoth Spring. Now, as we continue to go through there, if you happen to be sitting on the left, take a look way down at the bottom toward the right. You'll notice a big cavern down there. That's where the water's coming from. Now, if you're sitting on the right, man, you should have sat on the left. You can't see it at all. I'm messing with you. I'm going to turn around here.
It's a big crowd.
Now, if you're sitting on the right, you should be able to start to see that cavern. Here's the weird thing about this spring. 550 million gallons coming out of here every day. And when you look at it, it doesn't look like there's a darn thing coming out of there, does it?
No.
It looks downright serene. Well, there's a couple things that are actually kind of fooling you. First thing is, the water that's coming out of here is coming out 50 feet below us. In other words, so we don't get any movement up here. We're a
You
little
can
too
kind of
high.
see a little bit.
Yeah. Now, the main thing that's got you though is the water. It's perfectly clear. There's no debris in that water. In fact, if you hadn't noticed, there's not even any bubbles in that water.
Yeah.
So what I'm trying to tell you, if you can't see something in the water, you can't see it going by you. So you just plain can't see it because there's nothing in that water to see.
I suppose if he had a diver, he'd probably feel that.
Oh, the divers have been in there before. They said it's a tough dive because they're trying to fight that current. But this one spring that we're looking at right now, guys, this is responsible for 2/3 of the entire river. That's a lot of water.
This is one.
This is number one. This is a magnitude 1. Yes, sir. Yeah. Yep. Pretty though, isn't it?
Yes.
That's why it's mine. Now guys, I got one more thing I want to show you. And this has to do with making movies here at Silver Spring. Back in the 60s, there was a television show called I Spy on TV. Some of you guys remember that? Well, it was a series on TV back in the 60s. And they filmed one episode of that series right here at Silver Spring. The script for that particular episode called for some statues to be built underwater for the film. So what they did is they built these statues I'm about to show you in about 30 feet of water. These statues themselves, they're about 7 to 8 feet tall. And they were named after 3 Greek gods. And that was Zeus, Poseidon, and Hades. Now when they built these statues, guys, they didn't build them out of concrete or marble or statue stuff. They built these things out of fiberglass. Now why would they choose fiberglass? Anybody want to take a shot at that one?
Slight?
That's exactly what I'm looking for. Rarely does someone get that first off the bat. Good for you. The reason they wanted it to be light is because these are movie props. And some poor guy had to put them down there. And some poor guy also has to take them back out when they're done filming. So they didn't want to do concrete, that's too heavy. So they chose fiberglass. If you look underneath the boat, you'll see our 3 resident movie stars coming up. This is Zeus, Poseidon, and Hades.
That's it?
That's it?
That's it?
Yeah, that's it. Now guys, these were also in 2 James Bond movies. After this film was done. I want to go back over them here. Those 2 movies were Moonraker and Never Say Never Again. Both of those Bond films have scenes in them with these very same statues. Now, if they made this stuff out of a light material so they could pick them up when they were done, well, why are they still here? When they were all done filming, the producer looked at these people and he said, guys, we're done filming. Let's pick up our statues, let's go home. In other words, they intended to pick them up. But when they started to pick them up, that's when it got interesting. The local people here in Ocala had a fit. They said, guys, don't pick those up. Those are very cool. Leave them be. Let people continue to enjoy them for years to come. And I'll be darned if they didn't talk them into leaving them. And those little statues have been down there now since 1967.
You can see the water flow. You can see the flow.
Did everybody get a chance to see them okay?
Yeah.
Did you see them okay? Okay. Anybody not see them? I guess that's the question to be asked. Okay. Guys, being that said, that is going to wrap up our tour for this afternoon.
Oh, no way, I didn't see him.
What's that? Too late. Again, thank you all guys for coming out. We appreciate so much you being here.
Thank you, Captain.
Let's give him a round of applause, guys. Amazing. Thank you, thank you.
Now here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put this boat right back where I found it. I'm going to try to do this as gently as I can. But sometimes I tap one of those boats that are on our way in. Don't freak out if I do, okay? Well, there's one less I'm going to have to tap, so there you go. Now guys, as we go back into the dock, this glass that you've been looking through, it does have a special name, special purpose. That is called the world's largest tip jar.
Yeah.
Anybody would like to leave a gratuity for the old captain, it's been our tradition here at Silver Spring to actually leave it on the glass. And again, you're not obligated to do anything of the sort because it's a gratuity, but it is very much appreciated if you do, guys. That's frankly how we make most of our money. So, yeah, of course it's appreciated. A little bump here now toward the end, guys. Thank you, folks. Appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you all. Appreciate that very much. Now, does anybody have any questions before I let you go today? Yes, sir.
Does the water level in here fluctuate much?
Yeah, it does. It's not a tidal thing, it's a seasonal thing. Right now, we're kind of in the middle of rainy season, so we're way up right now. You can kind of tell by looking at those boards over there. Back here last winter, we were down.
No, it's I told you. That's one of good. We might have been to see the monkeys. Oh my God! But that's a good seat.
Yeah, that's the best seat.
We'll see the monkeys now. Google here. Don't find them. I don't want to go to TikTok.
Guys, that was the Chief Yoholo. And next time you're in the area, come and check it out. It was really fun. Bridal chamber.
He's like 10 minutes away from me.
gusta o para
Bueno, para todo el mundo. Lo puedo pagar. Pero el que lo pueda pagar desde afuera, porque no te puedo
Look at that.
y para llegar ahí hay que venir por tierra. O hay que coger un
Works really good for seeing manatees too.
The only nice thing outside in Florida that's nice outside is just Springsfest.
Oh, look at that rocking chair. That's gonna be my favorite spot. Paradise Park.
You need two. One for bait, the other for play.
You want to come to alligator?
So at the park here, there's lots of boardwalks. So we got a boardwalk right here. There's paved trails. This one's a gravel trail. So this one goes into the into like the forest. There's also on the far opposite side, there's an equestrian trail. So you could take your horses and everything, but it's a different entrance, I believe. Let's check out the view on this boardwalk here. Oh, well, look at that. We can see some kayakers. Let me see if I can give you a higher view. Up we go. Ah, how's the water down there? Wow. Did you just see that fish right there? That's amazing. It's quite a hot day today. Pretty good day to just jump right in. I'm pretty sure they won't let us do that, but it would be amazing. Wow. So they do have kayak rentals here. You can also bring your own kayak. See, I like kayaking in rivers, you know, because rivers have trees for cover. Nice and cool. In Florida it gets really hot. Get nice shade. You can jump in the water. They don't let you jump in the water here, but you know, when they're not looking. Just be careful for those alligators. Let's continue walking down this trail. Wow, it's really nice. I'll let you enjoy the view. Please don't feel the wildlife. I'm gonna starve out here. Let's see. Trail goes that way, and also the trail goes this way. Let's see, which way should we go? I think this guy's a tour guide. I saw him earlier talking to people. Wow, now this is beautiful.
You don't have to be turbo mode, Maddie.
Or if you flip over, I'll put it on YouTube.
Right?
Oh, this is really beautiful. Is that a monkey? Huh, just kidding. Did y'all see the monkey?
No?
Wow, look how tall that tree is. My goodness. Beautiful. Okay, so maybe at points this gets filled up with water. Huh. Looks like a really nice place for an alligator to be hanging out. Tasty vibrations. What? Okie dokie. Here's the other side. You can see the boat tours from here. Boat tours. If you look up right there where my glasses are pointing, there's a little woodpecker hiding from us. I'm gonna name him Woody. Woody Woodpecker. As you can see some little paw prints. Like some animals sleeping out here. Then he woke up in the morning and went right up that way to the water. Had a sip of water. Maybe had some mushrooms for breakfast. There's the mushrooms right there growing off the tree. Beautiful. is an infamous banana flower. It's where the monkeys get all their food. Oh, that's weird. There's a PVC pipe out there. Look at that trash. Please do not litter. Public service announcement. Wow, look at that. That's pretty. You can get a pod of these at Home Depot for 20 bucks, or you can just walk anywhere in Florida and get it for free. Look how beautiful that is. Nice. Nice little vines. Let's walk over to the other side. Oh, was that Cody? Hey
That's
there.
Cody.
Hey, Cody. Amazing. So if you go down that way, that's where the springs are. There's a magnitude 1 spring down there, which means it has the highest flow of water. Here's some kayakers. Oh, there's some fish. You can just jump off right here. Just get on the grass right there. Perfect. Looks like there's a turtle right back there. Or just have an active imagination.
Jared,
Are they on?
I think we went this way.
Oh, I guess it went.
I think it's I think he's wrong. Pretty sure it's this way. Alright.
Porque ya la sentí como... Está muy cansado. Que es una isla, ¿no? Es una isla, entonces ¿cuánto te conecta con eso?
Thanks for joining us at Silver Spring State Park. I really appreciate it. Celebrating my birthday and everything. Oh, hey, look, there's another trail. How about we go check that out for a moment right before I leave? I always find something new. This one is if you want to get your kayak, canoe rentals, and paddleboard craft launch. So the entrance is right there, so it's not too far. The parking lot is maybe about 100 yards to the left. Entrance is right there. Then you go off to the right. You take this trail here.
Be back. Wait, hey, wait. Hey, where did you put your shirt?
You guys scoot back a little more. You got some more room. Now scoot back.
Oh.
So actually the boat launch is right there, and you can park your car right here and drop off your canoe, which is really close. And then there's the front entrance. I'd like to thank everybody for joining us on this trip, celebrating my birthday. It's been really amazing. Thank you so much. This was a Silver Spring State Park. No parking fee, only $2 admission if you're going to the park. I believe it was maybe $12 or $15 for the bottomless boat ride, which is a great deal. Awesome. Well, thanks for joining us. My name is Awesome Joe. This is Awesome Joe's Adventures. Peace out.